Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It is me, Jordan Young, aka Sneakernomics, and in today's episode we are going to look back at the biggest news in sneakers this week. If you guys like this type of sneaker content, feel free to subscribe to me here, and if you want to keep up with me in real time, go and follow me over on Instagram. We are not going to mess about, we are going to dive straight into this week's release recap. For you guys over in the US, you had a couple of pretty big shock drops, including the Jordan 4 Thunder. Rumors are there was something like 160,000 pairs. My question is, did you guys manage to come up on a pair of these? Resale seems to have dropped to around $300, and I could potentially see these going under $300 when we see these release next month. You guys also had the shock drop of the Jordan 1 High Chicago Lost and Founds, pretty much everyone's sneaker of the year last year. And I don't know if the term shock drop is really appropriate for this drop, because every man and his dog seems to know about it. And so to me, the term shock drop doesn't really describe the shoe dropping unannounced, but would rather better describe one's feeling at simply being allowed to take part. There were live cops on TikTok, on IG, on YouTube. Everybody was set up, ready to take the dub on these, but the initial drop got pushed back and then pushed back again. And then when they did go live, tons of people were unable to access their accounts. The submit button seemed to have taken an early holiday, and people couldn't check out. People were having to delete the app. All sorts of madness. Did you come up on these lost and founds? Feel free to let me know. You guys had a sneakers cam for the Run the Jewels SBs, which is a pretty cool way to drop the sneakers and a pretty effective way of getting rid of bots. Did you guys manage to pick these up? We just had a normal draw here in the UK where I took all L's, unfortunately. We also had the Jordan 1 High Washed Pink, which are pretty much sitting, and also the Jordan 13 Black Flint, which are also sitting, and I fancy will go on sale down the line. It was obviously 420 this week, so hopefully you guys enjoyed yourselves with some recreational activities, and there were heaps of cool posts going around sharing 420 sneakers. And I think my favorite 420 sneaker this year had to be the Adidas Campus with the burn away or tear away rolling paper, revealing the green sticky bud suede underneath. I thought these were really cool. Okay, so let's jump into some exciting sneaker news from this past week, and we're going to start off by talking about Jerry Lorenzo, who officially released his first Adidas Fear of God basketball shoe. And I don't know what you guys think, but I think these are pretty cool. They definitely have the Fear of God vibes about them. There's a couple of colorways, one in a predominantly darker upper, the other sort of inverted with a more lighter upper. They seem to have the sort of one-piece upper mesh type construction, reinforced a little bit, stabilized with the classic 3-stripe cage. I think a lot of people are waiting for the price point to be announced to decide whether or not they will ultimately cop, because the Adidas Yeezy Quantums are out there and available for way under retail and kind of have a similar aesthetic in my opinion. But what do you guys think about these Jerry Lorenzos? We had some updates in the Nike versus Stockx legal battle. You guys remember where we last left off, where a reseller had supposedly bought 38 pairs of fakes from Stockx, and Nike had added that to their claim. But in the latest court documents, it seems that Nike have failed to produce sufficient documentation to support their claims that they indeed did buy fakes from Stockx. And so this is a minor W for Stockx and potentially a little roadblock for Nike. Really exciting news for all of you Foamposite fans out there. We got news this week that next year we will be seeing a return of arguably the greatest Foamposite colorway of all time, the Galaxies. If you guys were around in sneaker culture sort of 10 odd years ago, you'll know that the Galaxy Foam was definitely one of the hype shoes of that moment. This seems to be coming along at a time where Nike are looking to bring the Foamposite back. And so the question I have for you is, are you into foams? Do you see the Foamposite making a comeback? And are you looking forward to this particular release? Now, that isn't the only sneaker from the Galaxy pack making a return next year. We also have the KD4. And the KD4 Galaxy is definitely one of the best KD4 colorways. So I'm pretty excited about the idea of both of these sneakers sneakers coming back. I have very fond memories of this sneaker era, and I don't know if these will be that difficult to cop. What are you guys thinking? There is set to be another trophy room Jordan 1 collab, and yes, you are pretty much correct. They have already been backdoored. This time it's on a Jordan 1 low. There are no images or any mock-ups to go off at the moment, but my question to you guys is, why does Michael Jordan look photoshopped in this image? Now, as someone that grew up in the 80s and 90s, The Simpsons is one of my favorite cartoons of all time. And one of my favorite sneaker moments from The Simpsons is where Ned Flanders gets the Assassins. It's an all-time classic sneaker story from one of the best sitcoms of all time. Now, retro clothing have come along and attempted to recreate the Assassins, and in my opinion, they have absolutely ruined them. The Assassins were so cool, and these are so crap. OG collectors and Jordan 4 heads got the news that they have been waiting for a long time this week, with the announcement of the retro of the Jordan 4 military blue coming out next year with the complete Nike Air on the back tab. And this sneaker hasn't retroed with the Nike Air on the back ever, and for a lot of people this will be the missing piece to the puzzle in their OG Jordan 4 retro collections. And so it's not even a question, are you excited for this release? Of course not. This is going to be one of the most anticipated Jordan 4 releases of next year, no doubt. First looks, let's start with the Jordan 5 Amamanier seen on the feet of James Whitner. These feature a dark upper with what looks to be some burgundy accents, and the contrast laces obviously pop, and interestingly they have that little button or that little CCTV camera that we saw on the quarter heel of the Jordan 4s. They also seem to have lost the bulky padding from the collar that a lot of people don't like about the Jordan 5s, so I think these are looking pretty good early doors. What do you guys think? We got some detailed looks of Sean Witherspoon's next Adidas collab. This time he's all over the Gazelle, and listen, I've never really been a big Sean Witherspoon fan. I respect the fact that he's been working with these brands for so long now, but these just aren't really it to me. I feel like his first Nike was a massive hit, and he has been continuing to cash in on that success ever since, despite the majority of his stuff being pretty mid. These are a between the legs pass for me, and probably outlet bound straight away, but let me know what you guys think about Witherspoon collabs. You feeling these? We got some on-foot looks of these, the Nike Airships, and no, they're not the Nigel Sylvesters, they are the Every Games. You might be detecting a little bit of marketing genius here. You see, these look exactly like the Nigel Sylvester Air bikes that we've seen images of over the past few weeks, and it almost seems like they used the hype around that sneaker to build an appetite for that particular colorway, and then here they come producing a similar looking shoe. They are nice, don't get me wrong, I like this colorway, and I feel like I am sleeping on the Airships. Are you guys sleeping on the Airships? I feel like it's one of the more underrated silhouettes out there right now, but yeah, I thought these were the Air bikes. The big shoe doing the rounds at the moment are these, the Jordan 1 High Unions, and we got some new looks at them, and I'm wondering if these new looks have changed your guys' opinions on them. First looks weren't the best, but with these new detailed images you can really get a vibe for the footscape woven design that wraps around the sneaker, and you've got to admit they are making life a little bit more difficult for the replica factories out there with this release. I maintain, as I have from the beginning, the quality looks really good, the colorway is very nice. I don't love them, but I don't hate them, and I think these are kind of growing on a lot of people out there who were pretty resistant to them initially. I don't know, I'm open-minded to my opinion changing a little bit on these. Maybe once we see some on foots, it will change again, but feel free to let me know what you guys think about these. All right, so let's talk about this week's upcoming sneaker releases, and the big one to look out for are the Travis 1 Low OG Olive. Rumors are there's supposed to be something like 150,000 pairs of these, making it the most voluminous Travis 1 sneaker ever, but I wouldn't allow that to get your hopes up. This is a women's exclusive release, but they are going up to a 14, and from what I understand, they're going to be releasing in extended sizes on the Sneakers app only, and retailers are going to be getting sizes up to a maximum US 10.5 or a woman's 12, something like that. Make sure you're on the lookout for all of your local raffles, and just be prepared to take the L when these drop on the app. On the 28th, you have the green pair of off-white mids, at least here in the UK, and these are just horrible. And then on the 29th, you have the Wizards PE Jordan 3. Really nice Jordan 3. Probably a good consolation cop if you miss out on the Travises. And these are coming out in a full-size run and shouldn't be overly difficult to get, although I can still see them selling out. And that is it for this week's Sneaker Wrap. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Be sure to go and follow me over on Instagram. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like for me. I'd really appreciate it. And look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Take care for now, and peace.